Women can't drive was one of them. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So you don't think that men are overall better drivers than women?
Put a 1 in the chat if you think men are better drivers than women, and put a 2 in the chat if you don't.
No.
So when you see the worst parking you've ever seen in your life, you don't think it's more likely to be a female? It's just as equally likely to be a man.
It's crazy, bro.
Well, I mean, when I see, exactly what you just said. It. Yes.
Then that's your opinion. What's the argument?
Like I said, it's not. It doesn't have to be an opinion, right? That's your anecdotal evidence, which is like kind of a bias, right? when you want to bring out things like women can't drive, you're going to go with stats, and your stats are off. You're just wrong about them.
No, everyone is firstly, when you talk about biases, absolutely everybody's biased to their own personal experiences, right? If I've been in 5 car crashes and all 5 of them were driven by women by coincidence, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to think that women are less capable.
And then because
you sit here and pretend you're not biased and you're beyond biases is bullshit. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
We're all biased.
Okay, and then like a natural, good, educated human being, you're probably going to go on the internet and find some study that maybe you're right about it, and then you're going to figure out that you're wrong.
Study. Oh yeah, the internet study. Oh. Why didn't I think of just following the internet study and not?
You're right, because we could have gone for Tate's experience instead.
Why do I
see how hot he's like already? Even with Andrew being as calm as he is, dude's just fucking yelling. And it is a cringy point when Tate is like, "Oh, somebody who could destroy you," but he's not wrong. Like, and you'll see a couple times he gets heated, and he's like, "Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have said that," because he knows that he would never speak to Tate like this in real life. And I'm not defending, again, I'm trying to take this at face value. But, so we got, Kluk says, men are angrier drivers, but better, and women can't parallel park. Yeah, I think the statistics show that men get in more accidents, but men also live riskier lives in general. And so I think if women were to take the same driving risks as men, then we would see female accidents go up like crazy. The point that he is making is that if you're going to say you're wrong that women suck at driving, then you have to come back with something instead of just saying, well, no, you're wrong. You know, you have to say something.
All my own personal experience and obey the internet study and get my 5th injection and just do everything the internet says.
You're right.
My personal experiences, females are as capable of driving as males. That's my personal experience. You can't come along and tell me that's not true. So, and I don't give a shit. Study. So
the next time we have a problem with science or some shit or physics, why go to the internet or talk to some experts? Let's go ask Tate's experience on it, and we'll have the answer to it, right? You fucking sorry, no insults.
See again, first time. You fucking sorry. Like, say what you're saying or don't. Kluk says the hot approach never works for debates, in my opinion. If you aren't cool and collected, your debate opponent is, then you automatically seem less reasonable. 100%. I wasn't sure if I was going to use this. I'm just going to call him X because I'm not saying XQC a million times. Says X dude was on with Destiny and like was asking him what he did wrong in this debate, and that was hilarious. But it was basically just being like, you're kind of stupid. Like, but basically what Kluk is saying, like, why'd you come in so hot, and why were you trying to, why were you trying to do it like that?
I got unhinged. Sorry for that.
It's fine. That's what Twitch does to people.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. That's pretty good.
Conversations will be very different in person.
Well, that part's not true for me.
But that's fine. That's the internet. Well, my personal experiences dictate to me, as all of your personal experiences dictate to you, certain realities about the earth. And in my personal experience, every car crash I've been in, every time my car's been hit, the worst parking I've ever seen has always been by a female. Now, I'm not saying females are bad people. I'm saying they're better than men at other things.
Okay.
Men have, if you want to talk about internet studies, because you seem to believe internet studies for some reason, even though.
Okay. Internet studies is not a thing. You can find studies on the internet, but unless you're talking about a study of the internet studies, that's not a thing. So, I mean, I get what he's trying to say. I get what Tate is trying to say. If you don't, I could try to parse it out but that's not a thing. Internet studies. Like, yeah, dude, sometimes real science is able to be found on the internet. How the fuck did you know that you didn't want to take a jab if you weren't looking at something on the internet? Right? Kind of already, both sides are a little weak.
You can give me lies. You can give me big lies. You give me statistics.
Don't dish Gallups. They're one topic at a time.
No, studies are
Bro, I say this all the time.
Biggest lies on earth. But if you want to talk about studies, it's been proven that females do not have the same kind of spatial awareness that men have. They do not have the reaction times that men have. They've not evolved. This has been studied and found. You want to talk about studies?
And yet males cause more crash accidents on the road than women.
So again, as I was saying, I believe that it has to do with risk factor. But Kluk makes a good point saying Excess is source studies from the internet because he apparently doesn't look around when in real life to see these things. Or I would say doesn't go and have enough experience to see these things. He doesn't, I mean, when's the last time you think he was in a car with a girl? Yeah, I know.
Cool. So we have
So they have less tools
Oh,
than you and studies. Yeah, they cause accidents, but according to your experience, they cause more accidents. So you're right. So you are right.
correct. And we have studies that conflict. And in my personal experience, I feel safer when a man is driving me than if a woman is driving me. That's my personal experience. If you want to sit here hoping that you keep saying women can drive, you might get a girl, that's your decision. But in my personal experiences, that's not the case. I don't know why we're going to sit here and argue about it.
Perfect. Then in that case, then what you're saying is that since you're such a smart being,
Hit the sport links and maybe you get 20-hour-a-day streams.
if you go to the casino and there's 60% red squares and 40% black ones, right? 60-40. You should bet on the 40% black ones because that's how you're going to make money. According to your analysis of these stats, right?
I don't truly understand the analogy.
That is simple. It's very simple. Like I just said. According to your interpretation.
Again, that energy. It's very simple. I just said. Well, he didn't understand you. So maybe reiterate it in a way that he can understand it.
I didn't get either
stats on the internet or whatever, right? You would bet on the 40% outcome instead of 60%. And you're saying this is a good bet.
Oh, bro, I know, and I mean this with respect. I know the internet is your life, right? I don't use the internet for stats when I get into a car with a bitch. I don't go and go, okay, well, she's blonde. Let me look up the blonde chicks. Can they drive? Da-da. I get in a car and I look at her driving and go, and this bitch can't drive. That's what I do, right? And any man who's honest with himself has been in the car with a chick who's driving on some wild ass, crazy, texting on her phone, risking everyone's life. Every man knows what's the truth.
Okay.
I know you can't say it. Okay. You don't get canceled, blah, blah, blah. You just sit here and say, when you get in a car with a girl, you look up an internet study first. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about? A bad driver on the road that you can see is a bad driver. I don't give a fuck if they're old. If they
Completely, another thing not to do is completely ignore what the other person is saying to you. Even if you have a point to make, it's very clear when people are just listening to talk and waiting for their turn versus listening to actually hear and understand what you're saying.